A lot of people are talking about parasites and have asked me to make a video about it, so I have put together this presentation for you today on parasites. What are they? How we can be infected by them, my personal experiences with parasite cleansing, and things that you can do to help prevent them today. Welcome to Cyberwitch, your online resource for spiritual development. My name is Orly Stewart. I am a health enthusiast. I am training as a yoga teacher. I am not a doctor, but I am working to help people become stronger. And I'm also a Gnostic bishop, so I analyze everything as well from a spiritual perspective. Today, we are going to get into a lot of different information about parasites, and I'm also going to heavily be referencing the book Parasites, The Enemy Within by Hanna Kroeger, which I have referenced in the description of this video for you as well. So there are physical parasites, and there's also spiritual parasites. Physical parasites have a spiritual effect through our energy, as well as energetic parasites can manifest physically and vice versa. So parasites are organisms that feed off of other organisms to survive. They can enter our bodies in so many different ways, through the environment, through the food that we eat, and even through human contact, through intercourse. There are a lot of different kinds of parasites that can infect you. Some of them are so small that you can't actually see them. However, many of them can grow quite large inside the human body that you definitely can see, and they will emerge either through the dermis or through your natural digestive cycles. And there are 5 groups of physical parasites. So those are roundworms, single cell parasites, the tapeworm family, flukes, and spirochetes. When you are infected by parasites, you could be infected by multiple kinds of parasites at any given time. And the thing about parasite removal is it is very common practice in many places in the world, and infection of them spreads quite easily, and it affects your overall health. However, there is essentially a myth that in North America, people are not susceptible to these kinds of parasites, yet we do commonly deworm and remove parasite infections from our animals. So from my experiences, parasites are definitely real, and I'm going to present my research in that for you today and discuss my experiences with them later in this video. Now I'm going to get into what are the symptoms of a parasite infection, and a lot of them have very common symptoms. However, there are symptoms that are more specific to certain types of parasites. And before I get into the list, if you are experiencing any of these kind of symptoms, definitely look into it further after you've learned from this video. So here are some common symptoms of parasitic infection: abdominal pain, diarrhea or constipation, anemia, nausea, itching or rashes, muscle and joint pain, bloating, soreness, cysts, depression, nervousness, chronic fatigue, allergies, and immune dysfunction. So you could experience a multitude or just one or more of those symptoms. And it can spread through your body because the parasites are active and they are breeding. And what they do is they will burrow and tunnel through your body, spreading the infection and causing further harm to you. In particular, they're actually more active around the lunar cycles. So in treatment, that's also something that's important to consider as when they are breeding. And so spiritually, this works in the same way. Entities can attach to you and drain your life force energy from spiritual malpractice. And of course, being around people or places who attract them, as well as you having poor physical health while pursuing any kind of spiritual praxis, because that can make your problems worse. And the physical parasites can influence you on a stool level as well as while they're living inside your body, they are feeding off of your energy. And the energy of their consciousness is also living within your spiritual bodies. So that is going to make you feel bad. It's also going to affect you psychologically by doing things such as giving you cravings to consume foods like sugar, which they love for you to eat, or continuing to get you to eat foods that are further infected with the parasites to make problems worse. And I'll get into more about that later in this video as well. Now it's time for our 20-second vibe check. Discovery under the pyramids. Archaeologists have found a mysterious structure lurking beneath the pyramids of Giza using a underground radar. Now, some scientists argue that this is fake news. However, others are conveying that this is just the beginning of further, more exciting discoveries about history in Egypt. Now we're going to talk about how we become infected by parasites and my personal experiences with them. The first factor to consider with parasite exposure is environmental contamination. So this can easily happen to people from just being outdoors, being barefoot in grass, getting soil or dirt in your mouth, going into a body of water, and then it can get into you from things that you're actually ingesting. So, of course, drinking contaminated water, eating raw animal products, and raw vegetables that grow in water, in particular, things like water chestnuts and watercress. And then there is person to animal contact. So that could be through touching sea snails, through touching different infected organisms, or being bitten or scratched by an infected animal. And then there's also person to person contact through intercourse with someone who has parasites. And of course, this will affect you both on a physical and spiritual level in various ways through that interaction. All of these things can attach themselves to you. So it's really important to be aware of that. I have had really profound experiences from pursuing parasite cleansing. And my experience with the parasite cleanse started 2 months ago. I'm going to share some of the methods that you can find in Hanna Kroeger's book, which I have been using, as well as advice from my Ayurvedic doctor and also advice from Vermilion, who went to school for health and nutrition sciences, who has helped guide many people through parasite cleanses as well. And so I have been taking a lot of different supplements as part of this treatment and doing it slowly over time. And I start the day with a shot of apple cider vinegar that has the mother as part of the mixture and a glass of warm lemon water with a handful of raw organic pumpkin seeds. So that is something that I can talk about and share the exact details from, because it's something that you can also do at home, and I'll get into more details about that later. And all of that really helps your digestion and make your body more immune to parasites being able to live off of you. And so it was very disturbing for me when I actually saw the parasites that came out of my regular digestive process. Some of them were very large and were around 3 to 4 inches in length. They were fluke-like in shape when I first began the cleanse. And it is not a surprise because I have kept aquaria. I've spent lots of time out in nature. I used to go swimming in lakes all the time, as well as I've eaten tons of random raw fish from sashimi and sushi over the years. So, because I had never done a parasite cleanse before through my whole life, all these things have just been living off of my body this whole time. So it gave them quite a long time to be able to grow inside of me. So it's not a surprise that they would be that size for my very first cleanse at the beginning. And I also was experiencing some twitching sensations on my body in my abdominal area while taking the treatments for them, which are different parasite treatment supplements that I'm not going to go into the details about in this video because they were specifically prescribed to me in a particular dosages based on my weight and body type and activity level. So that is going to be research and stuff that you can get other people to help you with. But the things that I explained about the apple cider vinegar and the pumpkin seeds and the lemon water together in the morning, that is something that you can definitely do. So all of these things were happening together over the course of now it's been over 2 months since I began the cleanse, and I have now experienced seeing things that look like worms, some even which continued to move after leaving my body. And every single time after having the experiences of the parasites leaving my body, I feel amazing. I feel really euphoric energetically. There is such a big energy shift since I began the cleanse that I feel extremely passionate about this. And Hanna Kroeger even writes in her book about how she prays that this information will be shared to people who need it. And that really inspired me to share all of this with you guys today because since starting the cleanse, my health has vastly improved. I no longer have stomach pain issues or issues with severe tiredness, and my menstrual cycle has also regulated. And then on top of that, my yoga improved, especially in regards to my ability to balance, and my overall stamina in exercising improved as well. And this is all since starting the cleanse. So I'm really happy with the results from that. And I'm going to continue this process and share more of my research as I proceed in the future. You're watching Cyber Witch. This show is possible thanks to your support. Check out the book, Asaya Kalexa, Created by God in a Body of Light by John Vermillion on the Violet Gateway, edited by me. Through various breathing exercises and visualizations, the reader is shown how to utilize various techniques on how to become more aware of themselves on an energetic level and create deep releases to past attachments. Find it linked below, and now back to the show. Finally, I'm going to get into some methods as Hanna Kroeger describes in her book, Parasites, the Enemy Within. And these are things that you can start doing right now to help remove parasites through organic, through natural means. And it also will probably help your digestion overall. Now, of course, this is not medical advice, so make sure if you do have some kind of restrictions on what you're able to ingest, that you check into these things for your own personal situation. So these are methods that you can think about right now. So the first is stuff that you can just start ingesting as part of your regular routine, along with your meals or on their own. The first being apple cider vinegar with the mother, because worms cannot take hold of it. And the book suggests 1 to 2 teaspoons with a glass of water, or cranberry juice, in particular the cranberry juice, because that helps to keep the in your intestines. And with that, it is something to be noted. You can't just have any juice because sugars are something that the parasites love. So be really careful about that. And then also raw organic pumpkin seeds, raw garlic, and to avoid high carb, low protein diets, sugars, raw or undercooked beef, pork, fish, chicken, any kind of animal product, really, unwashed fruits or vegetables. And if you do think that you would like to look into parasite cleanses for yourself, there's also natural parasite cleansing treatments in various methods that someone can help advise you with. And I have put resources in the description of this video if you would like to talk to somebody about that who can help you. Because don't be afraid, parasites are super common. So be aware that this is a major problem and inform yourself, because it really is not talked about enough in North America, and it will really help your overall health and strength to do everything you can. So I hope that was informative for you today. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments of this video. Please hit subscribe if you're new. It really does help the channel, and give it a like. If you would like to reach me for any of my spiritual services or my online classes, all that stuff is linked in the description of this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.